Hey, what's going on, everybody? Max here with BB, and today for 10 Minutes Max, we're going to be talking about PEPE and primarily PEPE only. It's been a long time since we've done a PEPE only video, and given how the chart looks, I believe it warrants a little bit of one-on-one attention from us here at BB. So we are going to talk about Ethereum, though, because PEPE, in my opinion, is going to struggle performing if Ethereum doesn't perform well, so I think it makes sense to include that. But really, just Pepe and ETH today. So for all you Pepe fanatics and holders and traders out there, this video is for you guys. Before we get into it, do me a solid. Please consider liking and also subscribing to the channel if you are new here. Greatly appreciate your guys' consistent support of what we are building here at BB. So without further ado, let's jump into it. Let's get the chart up here. Here's Pepe. I actually think we should start with ETH BTC though. So just a quick little refresher for those that are new or beginners in this market. This is Ethereum denominated against Bitcoin. So if the chart's moving up, ETH is outperforming Bitcoin. If the chart's moving down, Bitcoin is a better hold than ETH. Okay. So as you can see, we've basically been bleeding for like 2 years since we set this high back in late 2021. It's been choppy, right? Few big bounces, things like that, but we have generally been bleeding, okay? Now, I want to talk about the mechanics for when the market really goes risk on, okay? So, ETH BTC is not just to be viewed as Ethereum performance against Bitcoin. One should really dig deep and attempt to contextualize what ETH BTC means for the broader market. And I'll spoil it and do the research and present it for you. When ETH is outperforming Bitcoin, the spirit of the market is uber risk on. All right. When ETH is outperforming Bitcoin, it's not just ETH is outperforming Bitcoin, it is altcoins are outperforming everything. Like shitcoins go crazy. So let me show you the king altcoin, right? The one with the most price history, the one that we've been tracking as a comparison and a roadmap for Pepe since the bear market. We're going to show you Doge down below. All right. So this here is Doge. I'll put this in gold for you guys just so you know that it's Doge. And up top we have ETH BTC. All right, so Doge is to be viewed like the king altcoin. It's older than Ethereum. It's proof of work, zero risk of rug, time tested, whatever, the whole thing. You guys have heard it. But let's see when Doge goes really crazy. So Doge first went crazy in like Q1, late Q1 of 2017. Let's mark that out. And look at that. Right as Doge goes crazy, and I'll take a measured move right here. So Doge went up 2,200%. Look at what happened. ETH BTC went crazy. And actually, it was ETH BTC moving first and then Doge went. Okay. So just understand that that's the trigger. Next, last cycle, late 2020, Doge starts to curl up. Look what happens. Doge goes crazy. ETH BTC goes crazy, right? And that's not a small move either, right? That's not a small move at all. It's a huge move. Doge went up 25,000% when ETH BTC went nuts, right? So again, where are we at right now? ETH BTC is still bleeding, but I do believe we are in sort of our bottoming region, which we're going to talk about in just a second here. But I wanted to show you this as to like, let's use Doge as a representation of altcoins, right? When Doge pumps, when meme coins go crazy, not just like they go 3 or 4x, like I'm talking like they go 10x plus in a short period of time. Um, that means that the market is like uber frothy. It doesn't really get much riskier than that. So what we're really looking for here for tremendous outperformance from Pepe, which I believe is going to be our king altcoin of this cycle, and is poised to be kind of the de facto Doge of this cycle, is we are in fact looking for this ETH BTC pair to turn around. Okay. So just real quick, before we get into Pepe, like where could we be looking for a bottom here? I mean, one, I view this as, potentially your high time frame sweep, right? I would hope that this has a chance to be, a deviation. And what we're doing right now, because the ETH ETF actually starts trading tomorrow, is, maybe just kind of bleeding into this region a little bit. So, backfilling an inefficiency, and then from here we see a turnaround. Okay, that's what I would hope for. And we got a nice little trend line. Something like this needs to break, right? I mean, we've just been falling in this wedge forever, but eventually I believe this compression will break, and I hope it looks something like this. But let's move over to Pepe now. So I've had this drawn a few different ways, but I actually think so. Let's just start with this. All right. This is your bear market range. You could make an argument that it's right here, and then this was a deviation, but let's just throw it right here. All right. And now what we're going to do is we're going to throw on our 1.618 and our 2.618. I'm going to make the fonts a little bit bigger so you guys can see them. And we're going to move the texts to the right. All right. Let's move that just right over here. And again, you could maybe draw this a few different ways, right? Like we could try to do this, and say this was your range low with a deviation, and it kind of works, right? But let's just be ultra conservative and just say, we've got the price history. Let's look at it like this. So Pepe in the bear market, from bear market high to bear market low, we had a couple clean interactions with the mid range. We break out, retest the range high, and then we have our first high time frame like serious rejection right at the 1.618. Now, where have we seen this before? Let's put Pepe on the left over here, and we'll make this a little prettier in just a second here. But here's Doge from last cycle, okay? So what I'd like to do is do the exact same thing more or less with Doge. All right, let's put it gold for Doge. Now let's draw the same range, right? Let's draw the same range. If Pepe is going to be the Doge of this cycle, and I'm going to exclude COVID. I know some people will give me a hard time about it and they'll say, oh, like you have to include COVID. I don't really want to include COVID. I think it was kind of a black swan, really quick manipulation deviation. And, I'm going to exclude it. I would view this as your bear market low, similarly to how I would view this for Pepe's bear market low. And if we had COVID here in Q1 of 2024, then we probably would have gone below it, and I would exclude it as well. And just given how clean this fit is, with the mid range and stuff, like I'm gonna exclude it. You know, two interactions with the mid range, kind of front ran right there, retest. Um, you know, Range low, looks really clean. Now let's zoom in a little bit here. All right. So we broke out of our range, right? Like here's our range high, range low, mid range right here. Rejection initially at the 1.618. And then we, kind of chop, 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 reaccumulated, whatever. I can go down lower time frame and take a look at that as well. But right after that, something pretty remarkable happened. And off of this 1.618, what we actually saw was Doge went on almost to tag the 2.618 perfectly. This was at 74 cents we peaked. The 2.618 is at 78. So really, really close, just barely front ran it. But Doge basically went up over 10x in like under 2 months, right? And depending on where you want to measure it, we could go back here or we could even go to this high and say it was 3 months from high to high. But either way, between 2 and 3 months, Doge went up like 10x. Okay. Really, really powerful, quick move, quick rejection at the 1.618, and then it went up like crazy. Now, what's Pepe doing? Right? Could it be doing kind of the same thing? Is this potentially where we're at? You know, Rejection at the 1.618, chop, 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 reaccumulate, and we're about to go close to the 2.618 or maybe even higher. Time will tell, right? Time will tell. But what I'm more interested in is let's take a look at the mechanics of what was happening behind the scenes, right? Like what caused Doge to go up like this? You could argue, it was an Elon tweet or something like that, but I would argue that it was actually broader market conditions and maybe it was catalyzed or accentuated by, an Elon tweet or something like that. But let's take a look at it. So let's add on here ETH BTC. All right, let's add on. We can just keep it like this. We'll put it in blue though for ETH BTC. And as we already went over here in the very beginning, ETH BTC is, yes, Ethereum paired against Bitcoin. When ETH outperforms Bitcoin, it moves up. But what does it actually mean for the market, right? That's what we care more about is what does it mean for the market as a whole? Well, what it means is that we go uber, uber risk on, is what it means. All right. So let's take a look at it. What happened over here in 2021 after Doge hit the 1.618? So I'm going to remove these drawings just so we have a clean chart to work with. All right. So on the left, we have Pepe, and I'll actually just mark these out for you guys. So here's Pepe, and we'll put it in green for Pepe. And then over here, we have Doge. I just don't want anybody to forget. I don't think you guys will, but let's take a look at it. All right, and then down here in blue we have ETH BTC. What happened after Doge hit the 1.618? All right, what happened after Doge hit the 1.618? Well, it bled a little bit. I'll make this thinner and let's just make it like a dashed line. All right. Doge hits the 1.618. We'll put a red arrow right here because it moves down a little bit, right? Hits the 1.618, moves down. And what we saw was ETH BTC bleeding a little bit. Now, this stuff is never perfect, right? But I want to point out the mechanics, okay? Now, what's happened after Pepe's hit the 1.618? ETH BTC has in fact pulled back, right? ETH BTC has been pulling back after we hit the 1.618. Very similar to what Doge did last cycle. Okay, we'll put this arrow here as well. Now, when did Doge go on to go crazy? And again, from right here, after reaccumulating, we'll just pick a spot, any spot. Doge went up over 10x in a month, right? In about a month. I'm rounding a little bit, but whatever. So it breaks back through the 1.618. We'll put some more dashed lines right there, and we'll actually put a green arrow right here. That's blue, but we'll change it to green. Oops. Okay. Now we'll do the same thing right here. Drag this out a little bit. Perfect. Okay. So what would we potentially be expecting from right here, right? If we're doing the same type of structural shifts that we actually saw from Doge after it corrected at the 1.618, we would expect Pepe to pretty quickly reclaim that 1.618 and then begin to move up to the 2.618. And that would come in perfect tandem with ETH outperformance against Bitcoin, which is in fact your risk on indicator for this market. I know a lot of people will argue like, oh, it's just ETH against Bitcoin, but look at what has happened when ETH outperforms Bitcoin. The whole market goes bid, the whole market goes risk on, not just ETH, and paired against Bitcoin. It's what it represents for everything. So here, let's zoom in a little bit. Additionally, these bottoming structures, they look kind of similar, right? Like you could argue, I'll just zoom in so they look even, you can actually see. Like look at the bottoming structures here, guys. Like they look similar. Like there's no way around it. Like this looks like this right over here. Like this little move right here, like that looks the same to me. All right, I'll put that in gray. Like that deviation looks the same, you know? Similar little like bear trap, and then we pump off of it, bleed while, Doge is at the 1.618, Pepe's at the 1.618. We also have the Ethereum ETF that's going to start trading tomorrow. Like, I don't know what the deal is, like, but this looks really, really similar. Like this is incredibly similar, and they're both coming as like our Doge of this cycle, our King meme coin of this cycle is correcting at that 1.618, which is the exact spot that Doge did last cycle. So like, let's just assume hypothetically spot ETF goes live, ETH BTC bleeds into it, rips hard out of it, similarly to what Doge did last cycle. You should expect something like that from Pepe. It's the premier ETH beta, the premier large cap ETH beta. It has been all cycle. I expect it to continue. So I found this pattern to be encouraging and to a degree spooky, right? How ETH BTC looks to be in a similar structure. Pepe is at the 1.618 while ETH BTC is printing that structure, the same one we saw Doge do last cycle. So, what percentage would that take? Would that take Pepe up, from here? I mean, it wouldn't even have to do everything that Doge did last cycle to go to the 2.618. It wouldn't even have to go up as much. It would have to go up, 7 or 8x, where, Doge went up 10x, right? So, just saying, like it could happen. Like don't discount if ETH BTC pumps soon, like out of this region, you know, just like it did right over here in March of 2021. I'm just saying, like guns ablazing. Look at what's going to happen here. You know, look at what's going to happen here. The same thing I would assume is going to happen with Pepe. So keep an eye on it. The structural similarities are pretty unbelievable. But yeah, this would take us probably above 30 billion if it did happen, give or take 30 to 50 billion. But anyways, guys, that's all I got for you today. Thanks so much for tuning in. Before you go, please consider liking the video and also subscribing to the channel if you're new here. We're growing so quickly, and it's all thanks to your guys' consistent support of what we're building here at BB. Last but not least, check out the first link in the description below. That will take you to our Discord where you can sign up for our premium offerings. Guys, right now for our Discord, what you could expect is over 2 hours a day of private live voice calls with the entire BB team and community. We share active positions, charts, setups, analysis, and we do Q&A twice a day, again over 2 hours, Monday through Friday. Stuff we don't talk about here on YouTube or on X. It's truly an unparalleled experience. And a bit of a bonus, within the next few weeks, you're going to get free access included to our new flagship product called the BB Terminal, guys. It's got portfolio tracking, derivatives data, heat maps, literally high time frame DCA indicators, everything that you would need to succeed in these markets, anything you could ever want compiled into one super website. And again, that's going to be given to you for free, included in your existing Discord membership with us. So sign up sooner rather than later, guys. You're going to want to use it. Best value, best offering in all of crypto, guys. Check that out. First link in the description below. Last but not least, second link in the description below is to the BB Academy, guys. We spent 6 months meticulously compiling and curating what we believe is to be a masterclass, guys. This is brought to you by me and the entire BB team. We compiled all of our most effective strategies that we as a team have cumulatively used for well over a decade together to succeed in these markets, guys. There's a lot of people out there teaching TA. Some guys teach good stuff, some teach garbage. We can save you a lot of time, energy, effort learning the wrong stuff. If you're a blank canvas and you want to speed run your educational journey in these markets, sift through all the garbage and learn the right stuff, check out the second link in the description below, guys. Check out the BB Academy. It's got everything that you will need to succeed in these markets, all of my strategies, the entire BB team strategies. Check that out, guys. Second link in the description below. Before you go, please consider liking the video and also subscribing to the channel if you are new here. And again, thanks so much for being here. Thanks. Take care.